Hello and welcome to Collect Genesis. For this video I'm going to be showing you my personal CD collection from the But Seriously period from Phil Collins. At the moment I have 29 subscribers, which I'm really pleased about. Thank you to those people, and if you happen to be watching this video and you like what you see, please like and subscribe. Okay, let's get to it. Of course, the first item is the first single, Another Day in Paradise. Here's my copy on the Virgin label. It's a 3-inch CD single. The catalogue number for this one is VSCD 1234. This one has the tracks Another Day in Paradise, Saturday Night and Sunday Morning, and Heat on the Street. This is on the Virgin label. Then we move on to the album, which was released on the 20th of November 1989. But Seriously. Now I have this promotional 3-inch CD, which I found at a record fair many years ago. It's described as But Seriously Part 2, with the catalogue number PC3. And it has a section of the album, has colours, I Wish It Would Rain Down, Another Day in Paradise, Saturday Night and Sunday Morning. I've never known where this fitted, but I've since found out that it belongs to a promotional box called Talking Seriously. So that's just a little curio that I've picked up over the years. But here's more familiar territory. This is the UK album on the Virgin label. Catalogue number CDV 2620. The album we all know and love. And then we have the 2016 reissue, where Phil re-released all his albums with a much older image of himself, probably from 2016. This particular catalogue number is PCCD 89. And this one has an extra disc of Extra Seriously, called Extra Seriously, and you'll find demos and live tracks on there. And this one's on the Atlantic label, Atlantic Warner by the looks of it. Then we move on to the second single, I Wish It Would Rain Down. Also in this clear plastic 3-inch CD holder. Catalogue number for this one. This was released on the 15th of January 1990. Catalogue number for this one is VSCD 1240. And this has I Wish It Would Rain Down, Homeless, Another Day in Paradise demo, and You've Been in Love That Little Bit Too Long. And I also, much later, managed to pick up this reissue of I Wish It Would Rain Down on the Atlantic label. Catalogue number for this one is 848 79-2. And it's got CD backtracks on the sleeve. And it's printed on recycled paper, but that's a very simple retro kind of Atlantic release that I managed to find. The next item is the next single, Something Happened on the Way to Heaven. This one was released on the 16th of April 1990. Catalogue number for this one is VSCDT 1251. Features an image of the comedian Tony Hancock, which Phil was a big fan of. Tracks on this one are Something Happened on the Way to Heaven, 7-inch version, Something Happened on the Way to Heaven, One World Remix, and I Wish It Would Rain Down demo. And I also have the Atlantic reissue here of that single. This features Something Happened on the Way to Heaven and Hang In Long Enough. Also in the same CD backtracks sleeve. I was quite lucky to pick this up at the time. And then we move on to the next single. That's Just the Way It Is. This single was released on the 16th of July 1990. Catalogue number for this one is VSCDT 1277. The track listing for this one is That's Just the Way It Is, Broadway Chorus, Something Happened on the Way to Heaven home demo, and In the Air Tonight extended version. The cover image is of a scene in Northern Ireland at the time of the Troubles. The next CD is the next single, which is Hang In Long Enough. This was released on the 17th of September 1990. The catalogue number for this one is VSCDT 1300. And this has the tracks Hang In Long Enough, Around the World in 80 Presets, and Hang In Long Enough Pettibone 12-inch mix. It's a bit of graffiti kind of style cover art on there. And I'll also have this version of the same single, limited edition numbered picture CD featuring previously unreleased material. And the catalogue number is there, VSCDX 1300. I can't quite read what number mine is there, but it's a limited edition CD single. And the track listing on this one is Hang In Long Enough, That's How I Feel, and Hang In Long Enough Pettibone dub mix. And then after this, after Hang In Long Enough, we move into, well, it's actually an item I don't have. It's the VHS of Serious Hits Live. Was released on the 26th of October 1990. Curiously, I don't have that in my collection, but I have the DVD, which I'll move on to later. About a week later came the album of the tour, Phil Collins' Serious Hits Live. This particular edition came out in a slipcase with a purple tinged CD inside and a booklet. Catalogue number for this one is PCC-DX1. And then we move on to the next single. Now, curiously, I have a Atlantic promo of Do You Remember? Now, Do You Remember was released in the UK on the 26th of November 1990. This promo CD has the catalogue number PRCD 3121-2, but it is dated 1989. I'm not quite sure why that is. This is a single track promotional CD. Do You Remember at 4 minutes and 36 seconds on the Atlantic label. So curious. It came out, this promo CD was released in 1989. But here's the UK issue of Do You Remember? Also has, this promotes the live album, essentially. There's a nice live shot there, stage shot. With the tracks Do You Remember live, Against All Odds, Take a Look at Me Now live, Doesn't Anybody Stay Together Anymore live, and Inside Out live. Did I mention the catalogue number? VSCDT 1305. So they're the UK singles. There was an American CD single of Who Said I Would, which came out in February 91, which I don't have. But I thought it was worth mentioning. Now, after that date, on the 5th of May 1992, we have this item. I was collecting before DVDs were a thing, so this was an essential purchase. But seriously, the videos. Catalogue number VVD 1010. And of course, as described, it has promotional videos. There's a track listing there. And my particular copy I got from Woolworths, which people in the UK will recognise. Doesn't really exist now as a physical shop. But the Woolworths exclusive was this CD here. Free limited edition CD single, Doesn't Anybody Stay Together Anymore live, Woolworths exclusive, which came with this VHS tape. Just a single track CD of Doesn't Anybody Stay Together Anymore. So that's a nice little collectible there. Now I thought it would be good to include something that doesn't directly relate to But Seriously, but came next. This was released, this is a David Crosby and Phil Collins. This was released on the 15th of April 1993, and it's called Hero. This is on the Atlantic label. Atlantic A7360 CD. Thought that was a nice little additional item to show you, which might get missed otherwise. And then I do have the DVD reissue of Serious Hits Live, which is obviously a lovingly packaged multi-camera angle edition of the VHS. So, and it also has extra features of the interviews and photo gallery and tour program. There's a beautifully well put together DVD of the tour. Catalogue number of this one is 2564 604 87-2. This is on the Warner Music Vision label. I'll have to pick up the VHS at some point. This came out on the 25th of August 2003. So there we have it. That's my collection of releases from the time. Like I said, it ranges all the way from 1989 for the first and second single, all the way through to 2016 to the But Seriously album reissue. Well, there we are. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you like what you've seen here. And I'll hope to see you on the next video. Bye-bye.